Hello and welcome to the Beginners Photoshop to Web Design course, and I'm here with Camilla.
Hi everyone.
Hello. So we're going to be going through a bit of an introduction to what we're going to be covering in the course. So what you have to look forward to, Camilla, is transforming a PSD to HTML.
Okay, so what is HTML?
HTML is the code behind websites, and it means Hypertext Markup Language.
I thought it means how to make love.
It doesn't mean that, but it could do. It's
Alright.
it's so enjoyable. It's like making love.
Sounds very enjoyable.
Alright, okay, so we're going to be using Photoshop today. We're going to be changing our design that we actually did in a previous course called Photoshop for Web Design Beginners. You can have a look at that on the other courses that we have available. And essentially what we have is a finished Photoshop design that we need to then code into HTML and CSS.
Right, so how do we do that?
Well, we start off by first slicing and dicing. Do you like the picture?
Yeah, that's a very good explanation of slicing and dicing with a mixer.
Yeah, because it kind of breaks apart. You break apart your designs
Elements
and then you fit it back together.
Yeah, okay.
All right. Then we're going to be having a look at the different types of files of when you're slicing and dicing, because it's very important to choose the right picture and the right file format when you're actually saving your files.
Right. Do you explain how to choose the right image size
Absolutely.
for this course?
Yes, because the image size is very important, because I mean here you can see that sometimes PNG is superior, but it's also good for you know, things like with JPEG is having pictures, because with pictures and with lots of colors you want them to be low file size but still looking nice, whereas PNG will always look nice but it'll be a big file size. Alright, and if you have a look at this, you can see the different types of PNGs.
Yeah.
You got that horrible anti-aliasing there.
Yeah, on the right there.
On the
Yeah, I
right
don't
hand
like
side.
it.
But the sexy 24-bit one is lovely.
Yes, and it's very clear as well.
And you can see that it's going between the two colours there, which is important. So you can move your PNGs depending on what they're on. And then you've got things like anti-aliasing. Anti-aliasing is the
Little squares here.
Yeah, the squares here that make it shade into the next thing. All right. So if we have a look at this example, you can have a look at a GIF which is just under 4 kilobytes, but it's got that horrible white banding around it because GIFs can't do alpha transparency. It's either on or off. So you get that white horrible thing when you get the colors, yeah. PNG 256 colors, again, it's a little bit better and a lot
still
smaller.
not perfect.
Not
It's
perfect.
not perfect.
But the PNG is perfect, but it's very big.
Oh yeah, look at the file size.
It's
here.
double. It's massive, yeah.
Yep.
All right. Okay. So you have to be very, very careful with that. And when you get to bigger graphics, that gets even worse.
Yeah.
So the idea of the course is we really want to explain to you all the different parts of making a website. I mean, I know it's for basics, but it's something that you use even when you're more
But it's still very
advanced.
essential.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Now, files play a very big part in the course, because what we want to do is tell you where you need to save them, how you need to save them, and things like that. So let's have a look at this. About-me.html. What do you not see in there?
I don't see smiley faces, capitals, or spaces.
And why don't we put them in?
Because they'll break our website.
And we don't want it to do that.
And they will
Yeah.
break our heart.
That is indeed.
Oh, yeah.
Because if we're learning how to make love, we don't want things to break, do
No,
we?
not at all.
All the images belong in the images folder, which is pretty obvious. So it's very important to keep
To keep it organized.
organized,
Yeah.
because otherwise you get lost.
Yes.
And that's horrible. Now, if we have a look at this sort of structure here, you can find out that we're going to make our first page. It's only got 5 routes, we'll call it, but it's this idea as the website grows.
Just a very basic website.
Yeah, and then you've got
Start
shops
off.
that are a bit more complicated, and then you've got Facebook that just is nuts.
Oh yeah.
So even Facebook's organised, though.
I'm sure it is.
It has to be.
Yeah, better
Yeah.
be.
Now the first web page is always called index.html. It's like the person telling you where you go. So every single folder needs an index, otherwise you get lost, and which is bad.
It is terrible. I don't
Yeah.
like to get lost.
So have you done any HTML before?
I've done some, yes.
A little
but-
bit.
Yeah.
So let's have a look at tags then. So we're going to have a look at the story of the tags. So if we have a look at this idea of beginning, middle, and end, then you get this thing of if you don't end your story, what happens?
It is endless.
So if we were telling a story about Little Red Riding Hood, what would happen?
Everyone would be eaten by a grey wolf.
Yeah.
I assume.
Yes. Yes, essentially it would. It means that all the other stories, all the other tags and things like that would get ruined. Let's have a look at a tag now. So P start, P end. What does paragraph mean?
Paragraph means the main text in your website.
The main text, really?
No. I didn't mean main text, but for example, you have a title and the description.
Okay, cool.
Let's say.
So P means paragraph text.
Right.
Yeah, because P is linked to what it is. Now strong is like bold text, and that's
Because
good for
it's
something
strong.
called SEO, which means
Search engine optimization.
fantastic. All right, and then we've got H1, which is headings, and A, which is links. Okay, and we've got images. Now, images are slightly different because their story begins and ends in the same tag, and we'll be looking at that now. So now let's have a look at the image tag. So the image tag needs some help, doesn't it?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
And so, for example, if you have height and width, it stops your website jumping around. So having a height and width for your images is very good. The source src is just where the image is. But what
Where
do you
you
think?
find them.
What do you think alt is?
Alt is a short description of your image. Let's say so.
Very good. And who likes to know what that short description is?
Well, there's one certain Mr.
G. Mr.
Yeah.
G-Man.
He likes descriptions.
Yeah.
He
And
doesn't
for
like
those who don't know who
numbers.
G-Man is,
It's Mr. Google.
Mr. Google.
Yeah.
And what about other types of people who are using the internet who need alt tags?
People with disabilities
Yeah, so blind people using
using screen readers.
screen readers.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So the screen reader actually speaks out what the image is.
Yes,
Yeah?
and they find it for them.
Yes. Now the syntax is how you write it. The syntax is very, very important because if you don't write it properly, you'll get lost.
And it will look messy.
And it looks messy. We like
We like
nice
clean,
code, don't we?
Organized.
Readable code.
Yes.
Yes, we do. All right, cool. So that's our HTML story. So the course is going to cover a lot about HTML, and hopefully it's going to explain it in a bit of a fun way.
Yep.
Yes.
We'll try to make it fun for you.
Good. Now, let me introduce you to someone who's really, really good for making websites, and that's Mr. D, Mr. Dreamweaver. Dreamweaver! Yeah, Dreamweaver's really good because it's great for beginners. It's great for creating HTML, CSS. It's one of these programs that started off with a bad reputation, and now it's got a good one.
How come?
Because it used to write bad code for you. So we
Oh.
always take control of our code, don't we, Camilla?
Yes, we do.
We do indeed. And how do we do that? Do you remember?
Not really.
Not really. It's called split view.
Ah, yeah,
Aha,
I remember
we're
that. I
gonna-
remember
yeah,
that.
we will cover
Right.
that later in the course. And for those of you who are watching this video, Dreamweaver is a great thing. You can download the trial, and there's a link on the website as well. All right.
Yep.
Cool. So let's have a look at what we're going to build. We're going to create our homepage here. So that's the homepage. We've looked at the about. Move on to services, and all of the files that are used in this are all on the files that you're given, aren't they?
Yes. They're all given in course.
The
outline.
course material below, the
Material,
course
yeah.
outline, yeah.
Mhm.
Brilliant. So the course has got everything you need. Now, last of all, we're going to be having a look at CSS, which stands for Cascading Style Sheets. And let's have a look at this picture here. So if we think of HTML as the car, that HTML it's got four wheels, it's got a windscreen, it's got lights. But the CSS makes it look sexy.
Oh yeah.
Very sexy.
Very sexy.
It's how you see it. So HTML is what you see, and CSS is how you see it. And then in later courses from Web Courses Bangkok, we're going to be doing courses on PHP that allow you to make your website into something more dynamic.
Yep.
Right. So that's what we're going to be creating. What do you think?
I think that's a lovely image, by the way.
It is indeed.
It was done in Photoshop, I
It
assume.
was indeed, yes.
Right.
And like I said, the design that we're using in this course is also available on another course, which you can have a look from Web Courses. So, Camilla, do you have any questions for me?
Yes, I do. When
Yes.
do we get started?
We'll start right away.
Yep, sure. Let's
Cool.
go.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.